Lesson 4 of the unit looks at solving a system of equations graphically. This is from your grade 10 math. So we've practiced drawing lines, we've practiced seeing what it means to solve an equation, and now we're going to solve a system of equations. So a system of equations is when we try to solve more than one equation at a time. So as I've started off all the lessons, what does it mean to solve this system? Y is equal to x plus 2, and y is equal to negative x plus 4. Well, if we looked at one of these relations, there's an infinite amount of the answers. We're trying to find the truth, but there's an infinite amount of answer. When you're trying to solve a system, here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to find the x and y that make both equations. Both equations or both relations true at the same time. So it's just a little bit different than solving a single relation. So in this first example, we're going to look at solving graphically, because solving inequalities graphically, which is grade 11, is easier to do. So I'm going to graph this one in blue, and I'm going to graph this one in green, and we're going to go ahead and first of all graph it, and then we're going to try to figure out, well, where the answer might be. So I'm going to just do a bunch of dots. I can't do a line on here with a ruler, so I'm just going to do a bunch of dots, and you'll see what's happening. But again, I recommend you are doing this with a ruler. So y equals x plus 2. There's our y-intercept of 2, and the number in front of x is 1, so that's our slope. Up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, etc. So I'm just going to plot a whole bunch of these, and I'm also going to go down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, and I'm just going to plot a whole bunch of them. So you should do that, or you should just draw your line. So this is going to be equation A. And equation B is negative x plus 4, so we have a y-intercept of 4, and we have a slope of negative 1. Down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, or up 1, left, up 1, left, up 1, left. So those are those two lines. And what I hope you see is they cross right there. And that place is the only place on these two lines where they are both the same, meaning the y value is the same, at the same time, meaning at the same x. So from our little picture there's only really one interesting place, and that place is where the lines cross. So the solution to a system graphically, if you remember from grade 10, is where the lines intersect or cross. And that point is the only place that they are both the same. Again, both the same. So they share a same point. And again, the great thing about a graph is it's easy to read off what the answer is, and in this case the answer is 1 comma 3. So from our graph, 1 comma 3 is the only place, the only point they have in common. And remember what it means to solve a system? Both of these equations have to work at the same time, and 1 comma 3 is the only one that will make them work. So in our blue one, we would have 3 is equal to 1 plus 2, and I think we would agree that's true. And in our green line, we have 3 is equal to negative 1 plus 4, and that's also true. So when we solved a system of equations in grade 10, graphically, we were really looking for the intersection point, and that intersection point tells you the truth. So we're looking for the truth. And that should sound familiar with the rest of the letters. Graphically, the truth is where the lines intersect or cross. And algebraically, the truth makes both equations work. And I'll add simultaneously at the same time. Okay, so let's just do a quick couple of examples of solving a linear equation, because you're going to see this is going to be really important for solving a linear inequality. So again, I'm going to color code. I'm going to do the first graph in blue, and I'm going to do the second graph in green. You could call it graph A, line B, whatever you want. And again, because of the limitation of this computer, I'm not going to draw a line, but you should. But again, the dots are going to be nice as well. So in our first one, what we have is a y-intercept of 1 and a slope of 2. And I'm just going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. I'm just going to do a bunch of them, and I'm going to go the other way. Again, you'd only really have to do 2 points, right? So here's my blue line. Again, you have to imagine on my picture it's a line, but for you it is a line. And the green, we have a y-intercept of 6, down 1 right, down 1 right, down 1 right, and up 1 left, etc. And again, as you see, at this point right here, which is 2 comma 5, at 2 comma 5, we see that these two lines intersect. And that is going to be the solution to this system. It is the only x and the only y that make those two work at the same time. But again, we always want to check our answer. We always want to make sure. So with my blue, again, I'll color code it blue. 5 is equal to 2 times 2 plus 1. 5 is equal to 5. Absolutely. And if we did our green, 5 is equal to negative 1/2 2 plus 6. And again, remember, in previous videos, whenever you multiply fractions and integers, make the integer into a fraction simply over 1. So we get 5 is equal to negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. 2 times 1 is 2. And negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. And we would agree with that. So again, if we know how to graph lines from grade 10, solving a system becomes easy. And in fact, solving a system of inequalities is almost as easy. Okay, one last one. Again, blue, green. My y-intercept is 9, and my slope is negative 3. Now remember, we should think of that negative 3 as negative 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, etc. Left and up. And for the green one, negative 1/2 minus 5. So minus 5. Well, I should probably go on with the blue. Just looking where I think the answer is going to be, I wouldn't have got there. So I'm going to keep on going. But again, you would have drawn a line, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. So we have negative 1 over 5 x minus 5. There's our y-intercept. Down 1, right 5, down 1, right 5. And I'll just go up the other side as well, just to kind of emphasize the line. But there it is right there. There's our intersection point, 5 comma negative 6. So graphically, 5 comma negative 6 is the answer. But again, I might have drawn a wrong line. So here's why it's important to check your answer. So again, when I check the blue, is negative 6 equal to negative 3 times 5 plus 9? Is negative 6 equal to negative 15 plus 9? Yes, it is. When we check the green one, is negative 6 equal to negative 1/5 times 5 minus 5? Is negative 6 equal to negative 1 minus 5? Absolutely. So here's our grade 10 math. Solving a system of equations graphically, and the only thing I want you to notice about this is the solution has to be nice. It has to be an integer answer for x and y.